All right, today we are going to talk about marketing a little bit more in depth and show you a way that you could market basically free of charge. It's just going to take your time and your effort to put it together and to do it. Now, one thing that I need to caution you on is that when you do this, you have to do it, you have to be on top of it. You have to make sure that you keep track of everything that's going on and that you keep abreast of all your messages and all your responses that come through. If you don't, uh, it can create a situation where you're doing more harm than good, and you're creating a situation where the customers won't rely on you, won't trust you, and really won't use you because they believe that you are, you know, ignoring them or not on the up and up. A lot of the online marketing has the same problem, and that is that it is ripe with people who are, you know, not trustworthy. What you need to do is make sure that you keep abreast of what's going on in your social media when you're doing this kind of marketing, and making sure that you are on top of answering your messages and being very, very attentive towards the customers when they ask it. They're going to ask you the same question 1,000 times, no matter how much information you give them. They're always going to ask the same question. But if you ignore them, or you create a situation where there's a period of time in there, their first response is going to be that you are not trustworthy, or your organization is not trustworthy, or it's some kind of scam or something like that. So you need to be very, very careful. Um, the people who are out there that have created this mistrust in the industry as a whole have done so in such a way that they've made it very, very hard to get the the business that you need to get without having to basically prove yourself because of all the crooked stuff that's going on. So keep that in mind. Never in the now, um, at least in our business. And what that means is that you're going to have very, very few customers that are going to come to you and say, hey, I want something that I just saw on TV. Can you bring it over right now? Everything that is done in our industry is usually planned because of a special event, whether it be a holiday or a birthday, or something going on with the family, or some sort of special gathering, football, baseball, you know, whatever it may be. So when you're marketing, you need to keep in mind that you're not marketing in the now, you're marketing in the future. You're marketing for the things that are about to come, for the things that are different than they are now. And you have to prep for that. Um, Another big part of that is to market in such a way that you remind them of that event. So, for instance, if you're putting up some stuff that in the spring that is related to the summer, you're going to have marketing material that is beaches or surroundings that are summer like, and get them to forget those cold snaps may come in, or something like, or the spring rains, or whatever may come around. So think in that kind of mindset when you're designing your marketing material, so that what you're doing is you're including the thoughts that they want to happen, not just the thoughts that are going on now. And holidays are a big part of that as well. If you're advertising for Halloween, it needs to be a Halloween themed marketing, and that seems very, very out of place anywhere after Halloween or too far before Halloween. So that gives you that limited marketing window from, say, September until the first week of November. that's where you're going to fall in on that particular subject. So it gives you a calendar on top of all the other things that you've got going on. You follow that marketing calendar, follow that marketing schedule, so that what you're going to do is going to fall into place with that. Also, things that are going on in people's lives have a lot to do with what's going on. Obviously, you're not going to market for, you know, church or school events, rather school events in the summertime. There's not a whole lot of school event going on in the summertime. That's not to say that late summer you're not, starting to gear up towards your beginning of the school year parties, and you can do this with transitional marketing, or marketing that reminds you of a time and also of a future time going into it. So again, back to school would be, something along the lines of, hey, get ready for your big, back to school bash by throwing that one last summer water party. Here are some great slides that we have. That kind of thing pushes one thing into another thing, and kind of gets people, in that schedule. Also, you can build on that by following up. Follow up that great end of summer back to school, party with, something that says, summer is over, but that's not to say that you can't still have fun with our great obstacle courses or combo units. Again, taking them out of that summer space and into the fall space where the school is starting over again. And again, this works for everything. It works, really well when you have correctly spaced holidays like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Boom, 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 boom. They're spaced apart, and you're literally, working one off of the other. The way that I work those kind of holidays is I do not put anything. I would never put Thanksgiving before October 31st, so that closes the window a lot. You've only got about 2 to 3 weeks worth of marketing that can actually go with Thanksgiving. But Thanksgiving doesn't overshadow Christmas, so you can have something that kind of relates to both, and you can have something that actually, works out of that Halloween season and into the Christmas season, with the gathering of families and the friends and the whole nine yards. And again, the same thing is true for Christmas. You could go Thanksgiving with a light scene of pumpkin and fall leaves to kind of back into the Halloween season, and that may be able to get you into a situation where you're not impeding on Halloween. Halloween and Thanksgiving are kind of polar opposites, in that one doesn't involve family and eating and feasting. Rather, it does have candy and things like that in it, but so you need to highlight the parts that are most similar between the two. Again, the fall colors, the fall pumpkins, maybe not carved, but just pumpkins, and things like that. Cornfields, things that bring to mind both of the holidays. So what you're doing is literally just working through the holidays, so that you're bouncing from one another. And I've got a whole schedule put together that shows you how to do that and stuff like that, and I'll offer those later on. But kind of come up with your own ideas on how you can move from one to the other, or focus on one to the other, and bring that into life of how your holiday season or your spending season is going to go. It's going to be tough, you know, going in from a busy season into a non-busy season. And that's the other thing is that you really don't want to overshadow one with the other because you're trying to build one or trying to diminish the other to focus on the other one. So be very, very careful. I have a policy, and that policy is make the money where the money is at. Period. If it, if your holiday season ends, the first or second weekend of October, November, and Halloween is your big day, and everything starts slowing down beyond that, then so be it. What you have to do is build something beyond that that's really not going to hinder that, because you do not want to take away from your money to try to make money for something that's going to be iffy. Again, people have spending habits. Think about it. When do you spend money? And when do you don't? When are the times that you don't spend money? When are the times that you don't feel it necessary for you to pay for things? There's a lot of holidays that are geared around receiving and things like that, and there's other holidays where they just people don't pay because there's so much entertainment that's free, or so much entertainment that's geared around other people or establishments or things like that. So you have to kind of keep those kind of things in mind, and you need to kind of market that way as well, so that if you have a holiday that is geared towards not spending money. Halloween is kind of a weird one, because people will spend on Halloween to go to a haunted house or to put together a party, but they won't spend for the most part on an individual basis for just to have something in their yard or something like that, unless it's themed towards that. So it's kind of weird and iffy, but it works if you know how to kind of push it forward. There's some other things that guys can kind of work on, and we're gonna touch on a lot of this other stuff and bring it together in such a way that it helps you to market your season and put things together to help you build and build and build. Remember, there's really no competition in this industry. There's no way that you're going to, be hurt by other people. So you need to embrace the mom and pops that are around you, and kind of form a coalition, so that what you're doing is you're able to take care of all these customers when it's outside of your wheelhouse. And you can also kind of specialize between folks if you know what's going on, and if you have people that are working on things that are similar. Okay, let's focus on Facebook. Now, Facebook has a couple different ways that you can market that is pretty effective. And probably one of the biggest benefits that you have with Facebook is the fact that they will allow you to market in a specific area. So you can pick where you want your customers to come from, and that's huge. It's probably more pinpoint focused than most of the other marketing that is out there. And it is specifically geared towards people who are in certain groups or mindsets or gatherings or whatever. You can pick grandmothers looking for birthday parties for their grandchildren. You can pick, water slide enthusiasts. It just goes on and on and on and on. You can pick whatever you want to do. So the marketing that is there that I like to use is generally two places. One, marketplace, and again, you'll see those pop up both in the feeds and also on the sides. They also pop up in other locations when you're online. If you pay for the advertising, but generally just posting something on the marketplace will get you in the feeds and on the sidebars there, and also in the community sites such as the yard sale sites or local hometown sites or something like that. Generally, they will allow you to do some marketing there, but you have to be a little bit more careful because what they will do is restrict the number of times that you can do it, um, and just kind of be wary of how you're doing that. Also, um, you will see in those kind of community groups where people will be asking for people who provide your services, i.e., does anybody know anybody that rents bounce houses in this area? So if you're on top of it, you'll be able to focus on that and kind of keep your eye on that and answer those ads in such a way that you're continuously putting the name out there, and also your friends and your family members will also do that as well. Facebook is a really good place to remind people that they need your services. Reminding people that they need your services is how we survive in the industry. It is not that they need us, uh, although entertainment is a necessity in society, and we do need to be entertained. But there's so much stuff going on out there, and there's so much competition as far as other things that would distract folks, that it's hard to just kind of rely on the fact that you know people need to be entertained. So uh, they need to be reminded that you have this service and that you are providing this service. And what that will do will create a situation where you are um, in front of them, and making sure that they're mindful of the things that are coming up. If you're putting out ads about birthday parties, if you're putting out ads about Easter egg hunts, if you're putting out ads about, Fourth of July, gatherings, if you're putting out ads about football Sunday events, what you're doing is you're reminding them that you provide a service that could be useful for them and can create a situation where their event can be augmented, and people can have more fun. So you need to approach it just like that. You need to approach it, if you're doing a football ad, make sure you have lots of football regalia going on around your ad. Doesn't mean that you have to have a football bounce, but you do have to have, you know, football players, or cheerleader pom poms or something, so that they're being reminded of what's going on, and why it's going on, why they need your service. Uh, and that's an easy way to do it. You can also offer a discount for these kind of events. If you're going to do a football Sunday game, event, then if they call you and ask and say the word football game or whatever, then you give them 10% off, whatever it is. Um, Work it so that you're pushing the units that you normally don't push. So I wouldn't put water slides in a situation where an event is going to take up all your water slides, because you're going to book those during the summer or whatever. So, for instance, if you're doing a Fourth of July event, try to push the things that you normally wouldn't get as the advertisement, as the hook or the bait, for them to get a good piece of equipment at a good price, and they'll either buy up, or they'll use the equipment that you're trying to give them as a good price, and that will get the stuff out the door. So again, Facebook Marketplace, Facebook social sites are the two biggest advantages that Facebook have, because they're going to allow you to do this in such a way that you are hitting the right customers just exactly right. Now, when you do your ads, you do not want to create an ad. What you want to do is you want to create something, especially on the local pages. You want to create something that looks like a picture of your friends or family in the backyard, and have the inflatable there, and then just mention that, hey, these guys, I got this from these guys this weekend, it was really fun, or something like that. And what that'll do is that'll kind of keep them off of your heels of advertising, and will allow you to put that in the people's mind that, hey, look, there's a bounce house and it looks fun, and they said that they got it from this particular company, Wow Inflatables, and it looks really great, and everybody was happy, and it was positive in the whole 9 yards. That's how you avoid a situation where they're trying to um, put more emphasis on, discussion and less emphasis on marketing. You create a situation where you're marketing your pieces as a event structure or something that applies to what they're looking for in their community. So look at that and try to work that in.